So I'm going to show you how to do water slide. I have all of my images that I want to print out on my water slide paper. I ordered some off Amazon. I'm using this brand of water slide, inkjet water slide decal paper, 20 sheets. This is translucent. It also comes in white. I have the white on its way. I bought all these images on Etsy for about $2 a piece, maybe a little bit more. These 3 are obviously for the mugs that I'm doing, and then these 2 are for some tumblers that I'm going to do next. So I do have a couple pointers when it comes to water slide. I like to print out multiple images on one sheet so I don't waste any paper. I've learned that if you try to just print them out like this without attaching them first, you get 2 prints, which is 2 pieces of paper, and there's so much room here that I could add, more pictures. So I attach all of my images together as long as it fits. I think it's 6.9 by 10 something inches you can work with. So I attach these together, and then I hit make it, and now all 5 of my images are on one piece of paper. So that really helps with saving paper, because it's not, I think it was $13.99 for the 20 pack of translucent. The other thing I'm going to say is that when you send it to printer, you want to make sure your bleed is off. And you also want to make sure your printer is set to glossy picture or glossy paper. Glossy picture paper, maybe. I don't know, something like that. That really helps with the quality of the image and how clear and nice it turns out. So that really helped me when I was printing these out. And then you put your water slide paper into your printer and you print it out. And I'll show you what that looks like in a second. I have my Canon printer. I'm going to feed it through the top just so it doesn't bend and flap around. So I open my little flap. I put my paper in there somewhere, and then I close my flap. And then on my computer, I turn the bleed off. Like I said, you just hit print, and it's going to send that to the printer when it wants to. There it goes. How cool is that? So there is my water slides. Let me put it down here with some better light. How cute are those? I love them. So we're going to take this out to the garage. I'm going to wait. I'm going to do these ones first. I don't like to seal it until I'm actually going to use it. So these ones I'm not using yet, so I'm probably going to cut these out. I don't do print and cut on the Cricut just because it is translucent. You can't see the edges, so I just cut as close to the image as I can, and I cut all of them out, and then I take the ones that I'm going to use the day of out to the garage, and I'm going to spray it even coats of a clear sealer like the Krylon triple thick, I think no, I don't know what it's called, just a clear, any kind of clear coat. You do one thin layer, let it dry, do a second. You want to do a minimum of 3, more the better, I guess. And then we'll come back inside when that's all dry. I'll add a link in the description for the water slide paper that I showed you earlier. I wanted to show you a little bit closer of what the translucent paper looks like. See-through, sort of. You can see the glitter through it, which is nice. I did a couple with the translucent. It's cool that the image is still there, but it's kind of see-through and they're a little glittery. So that's a Backstreet Boys one, and this giraffe is super cute, especially because you can still see the glitter through it. If you wanted a solid image, or if you had a dark background, you'd probably want to go with white, because this would just disappear on a dark background. So yeah, I like translucent on anything that's white, especially with like a nice white glitter. I think it looks nice, but I have, again, some white coming, so I'll do some videos of the white too to show you the difference between translucent and white. So the cup is fully dry. We're going to do a wet sand now to get all the, I don't know if you can see, but just the little bumps of glitter off of there to get a smooth finish. You want to use a very fine grit sandpaper. I'm using a 600, just a little piece. You want to get it wet first. I noticed that if you use a finer grit, your cup won't get too cloudy, so your water slide image won't pick up on that, because once you epoxy, it's going to get smooth again, but the water slide image is going to be over that. So if you use a really strong or a grit that's, you know, a 200 or 150, it might be really cloudy under your image. So I use a super fine grit, and then you just sand it down, get it wet, more of like a lukewarm water, just to smooth it out, so when we apply the image and so when we apply the second coat of epoxy, it has something to adhere to. A lot of it's to get it smooth for the image and for the epoxy. You want to get the area that it sits on the table pretty good, just so when it sits, it doesn't come up. Don't gotta go too crazy. Just want to get it smooth. That's about it. And now when you look at it, you can't see those little bits of glitter that were sticking up. Now it's just nice and smooth. The actual water slide, here it is. I've sprayed it about 4 times. We're gonna put it in the water. It's lukewarm water. It's gonna curl, do its thing, get wet. I don't know if you can see that. Sorry if you can't. About 30 seconds in the water till it slides off the paper. You also want to get your surface pretty wet so that it has something to slide around on, easier application. And then you take your image and you move it around, see if it's ready to come off the paper. It is. So we're gonna put it where we want it, which is, I think about there. We're gonna start from one end, slide that transfer off, holding it, and then sliding the backing off of the transfer ever so slowly. Kind of want to go with the curve of the mug, keeping it, kind of putting it down as you go, less wrinkles. The shape of this cup kind of sucks just for wrinkles. It's not a completely flat surface, but you can still move it around when there's water underneath it, so that's nice. So you can place it where you need it to go, and then try to work these wrinkles out. Make sure the image is straight. So I don't have a silicone brush, I have a paintbrush that I use to kind of get the water out of there. My finger also seems to work pretty well. And then I rub it with a dry paper towel, work out more of the water and kind of dry off the image itself. It wrinkled up there a little bit more than I wanted it to. It's just not all that fun. It's kind of a pain in the ass when it comes to a curved cup. That's it. There's still a little bit of wrinkles in it, not too bad. I've kind of learned if you take a heat gun to it ever so lightly, you don't want to get it too hot, you can kind of get those wrinkles out a little better. I did go outside and take the heat gun to it, and if you can tell, it kind of got those wrinkles out of there. Just do it ever so lightly till it warms up. If you do it for too long, it will melt the image, but it almost like seals it on there way better than just doing it with the squeegee brush or a paintbrush, it gets all the water out and makes it nice image. So that's the way I do it. I don't know if anybody else does.